Hey guys, I'm gonna make a short video about one of the best and only fishing lures that I use. It's a homemade one, and it's the only one I ever use. If you catch me using a lure, this is the only time I'll be using one. Or pretty much the only time, soft plastic lure wise. It's this. This might look ridiculous, but it's got this larger catfishing sinker. Then it's got line. It's got a small hook connecting a grub and a swim bait thingamajiggy. So the way you tie this on the end of your line is, one second, I'm gonna go get some fishing line to show you guys. Sorry, my little cousin's staying over, and he had my fishing line out playing with it. So let's just say I taught him a lesson by taking it away from him and throwing ice cream in his face. The way you tie this on is, I just got some little weak line here. You see the hook from the swim bait? Yeah, put that through there. Tie a fishing knot. Tie your knot. Alright. Once you got that knot, you're set. You cast it out. And the way you do this in the water is you jig it like this. So you just, I'm gonna show you guys on the floor, but my floor is really dirty. Okay, so don't judge my legs. Haven't apple tree. Okay, you let it set for a while. Jack it a couple times. Let it set for a minute. And it's a fish catching machine. That's the only lure you'll ever see me using soft plastic wise. This right here, this homemade creation. This is the only one I have at the moment because, let's just say, I went fishing in a part of Bluestone River that had trees sunken everywhere. I had 3 of them to start with, and now I only have 1. So this one's exclusively green. I have different swim baits, different size grubs, and different size sinkers. This is just the size grub, size swim bait, and size sinker I usually use. But I have different colors. I think I had a blue one and a green one, but the grub was smaller. Same kind of swim bait, but the grub was smaller, and the sinker was just a little split shot. And the blue one, blue one had a small swim bait that was about probably half the size of this swim bait. It had a really small blue grub that was like probably the size of this one if you cut off the tail thing. And I had a slip sinker tied to it I had a slip sinker and a split shot holding the slip sinker in place. And what I usually do is when I'm gonna fish with it, I put some. One second, I'm gonna show you what I put on it if you guys don't mind. I put some of this spiky garlic stuff on it. I usually use red, but occasionally I'll use blue or purple or white. But I mainly use red and make it look like a fish has took a bite out of it. I'll usually put it around that area of the swim bait, and occasionally I'll color the tail of the grub, and I usually put a couple dots on the sinker, and throw it in the water. Well, obviously you don't throw it in the water. Have it tied to your line. You cast it out in the water and jig it like I showed you, like jerk, jerk, stop for a second, jerk, jerk, stop for a second. Unless you have the spiky garlic stuff, if that's what you do if you do not have the spiky garlic stuff. But if you do, you twitch it a couple times. You twitch it every probably about 3 to 5 minutes. You just twitch it a little bit. Try to leave it in the same spot as long as possible. And then if it's shallow, if the water's shallow enough for you to see a fish, you just start doing this little number, jerking it. If it's not, then just jerk it like that every 8 to 10 minutes, and it'll catch you so many fish. I've caught probably, I've caught probably 13 catfish on this, 3 bass without the spiky garlic stuff. And on one of my smaller ones, it was the blue one that had the really small swim bait and grub and the sinkers. I caught a trout that was about that big. Not a very big trout, but that's probably my 5th best trout caught on this. I caught my personal best catfish on this, weighing in at 53 pounds. It was a much bigger swim bait, about the same size grub, same size sinker. The swim bait was probably size of 2 of these, grub same size, and sinkers same size. Had it on my fishing pole, and my catfishing. I had it on my biggest catfishing pole. It's recommended for 50 to 80 pound monofilament. It's either 80 or 90, maybe 100. 50 to something. It's 50 to I think it's 50 to 80. But had it on there. Caught my personal best catfish. It was a blue catfish weighing in at 53 pounds. So, I mean, it's pretty good. I've also caught, what are those ones called that have the, carp. I caught a little carp about that big, so it was a pretty small carp. It was on my small blue one. That little blue one was great for smaller fish, but I had to lose it. If we can get this video to 10 likes, I will show you how good this thing is. But I will be going to a lake that I've never been to before. It's somewhere, I don't know what the lake itself is called, but if you've ever been to around Bluefield in West Virginia, Bluefield, West Virginia, you go to Airport Road near Melrose School. Probably none of you guys know what I'm talking about, if anyone's even watching this. You turn down Airport Road, there's a lake, and if you keep on going, there's an airport. But my friend has fished that lake before, and he said he's caught trout and catfish and carp out of there like no tomorrow. I think he said he caught his personal best trout out of there. I think he said it was like 5 pounds. So a decent sized trout, I'd say. For around here, I've never heard of anyone around here in West Virginia catching a trout over 10 pounds. I'm sure there is people that have done it, but I've never heard of anyone doing it. Wait, isn't the brook trout the state fish of West Virginia? Get back here. Okay. Alright, see you guys.